see that. It's just amazing. It seems so much simpler when you say it, the way that you say it. But then when I get into that management routine again. What's up with that?
Well, that's why it's really important that this book, Loving Sober, is available for free to everyone. Because the information in it is practical and it's true. But just like any spiritual course, it's really helpful to have somebody that's a guide to show you how it is to do it. When I became involved in this and when I was taught these principles, my marriage was in a very difficult strait. And we needed somebody that was not emotionally involved on either side, that could keep us in our own lane, focusing on ourselves and on the material. And so that's what I do now. It's my passion and my privilege to share this, because it was just information that I didn't have. And once I got that, the first of these non-negotiables is courtesy versus rudeness. And I had no idea that I was rude to my wife all the time.
In what ways?
Well, in very, very simple ways. Like, say she's on the telephone. I would walk in and expect her to disengage from what it was she was involved with and pay attention to me. This is rude. But it is. And so I had to learn that no matter what it is that I thought she should be doing, that if she was engaged in a phone call, if she was engaged with another person, that I had to honor that before my desires. So that's just one of them. One of the ones that she was great about was we'd get in the car and she'd just text away. You know, she'd just completely. I think I'm going out. I got a 4-hour drive with a beautiful woman. I am styling, music, get to talk about some stuff, and she gets on and starts texting, and for the next 2 hours, I might as well be driving by myself. So anyway, I did not realize that was a rude behavior. So anyway, in the postmodern era, in this era that we're living in, none of us have had the information about how to really relate and love each other practically. And that's what Loving Sober is about. Another thing that I'd like to say is that I called it Loving Sober because this is an area that I've been very familiar with. And it's been over 33 years that I've been in an honest conversation with women and men about being on the spiritual path. And that what I found was a profound disconnect in almost every relationship. Many times the spouse or the partner was not involved in a fellowship, or they were involved in a church, and so there was a disconnect spiritually. And what Loving Sober does is it brings people together, couples of goodwill or people of goodwill, and gives us a level playing field, maybe for the first time in our life, where we don't have one that's more powerful than the other.
Okay.
We take simple concepts, we define them, we agree to apply them, and then during the course of the week, we conduct an experiment. And what Loving Sober is it's an experiment. And you've got 10 different ingredients to the recipe, and when you're done, there's an entirely different relationship than there was beginning, or an entirely different consciousness about what a relationship is.
When you started doing this, how long did it take you before it became a routine, a part of who you are?
Well, that's a great question. I like to say that the 12 weeks involved in the loving sober process will fundamentally change anyone's life. In 3 months, you've got a completely different world that you're living in. But, like any other set of spiritual tools, when you first start using a hammer, you're not very good at it. But you swing it for a couple of years, you get real good at it. Mm-hmm. But what it really does is it gives people the ability to disengage when they're in emotion. And really to look within to find out how it is that they got there, and then move out of it. So, the immediate application is incredible. Mm-hmm. It was like a pressure cooker getting released. And again, this is not about anybody's thinking. This is not about what's different about loving sober, is that this is not about me getting you to change your behavior so I feel better, or you admitting what it is that you're doing is wrong so I feel better. This is about me looking at how it is that I do. And so it's incremental. It just grows like any other spiritual path that you're on. There's a real difference in the first 90 days, and after a year you're amazed. But after 3 or 4, it's incredible. And another great thing about having this book is that you're able to, if you get to a point where you kind of get confused and you fall off the bike and you quit applying these, one person can turn to the other and go, let's go back to this and review this stuff, because it's written very clearly, very gently, and allows you to get right back into the swing of things where, again, it's me looking at myself. And
I have noticed already that I can become aware much quicker to what I'm doing to myself, instead of getting into that long, drawn out discussion or however you want to say that with my spouse. I can quickly ask myself, where am I? I'm not in this moment where I wouldn't be uncomfortable. I'm in another moment, another time, a place, I don't know where, but I'm aware of it at this point. Wait a minute, I'm not here, because right here is okay. It's an okay place to be.
Right.
So it's working already, I think. That's what it sounds like anyhow.
No, and what you're saying is exactly true. When I am upset, I'm either in the future or I'm in the past. I'm either in fear about what I think is going to be happening, and I want to stop it by getting her to behave a certain way. Or I'm way back in the past, and I'm putting all that concept on her, which she doesn't deserve at all. And so I'm not present. All I have to do is learn to become present. And as you said, this is a big deal. I got a person here, we've been living together for X amount of time. I certainly don't want to trade it in on another.
Right.
And it's what Loving Sober does is it allows you to get a new operating system, kind of an upgraded operating system for you.
That is wonderful. For me, we have several children. Well, they're pretty much adults at this point. But we've always tried to show them, how to behave in a relationship, so to speak. Be polite, be kind, be loving. And I'm like, we got so much work to do, because they have all of our lovely skills that we handed down to them that they're looking at. So I've asked them, please question everything that I've told you and see if it fits anymore. If it doesn't fit, get rid of it and get something else. So I'm sure that this book is going to help them out tremendously.